Hello everyone and welcome to the East region of EGFH Season 3 for Overwatch. Today we have a best of 4 match between the Grove Hawks and the Notre Dame Green Knights. I of course want to thank our wonderful sponsors, the Yukon School of Engineering, the Yukon Gaming Club, and of course Mob Crush for making this season possible. My name's Kevin Navik Dignan and today I'm joined by Cool J. How are you doing, Cool J? And Cool J's having a break at the moment, apparently. But, of course, this week, we are, as always, going to be starting with Escort, then going to Control, Assault, and Hybrid. And if the scoreline is tied after the maps, we'll be on a tiebreaker on Escort once again. Of course, the map order for today is we're going to be taking a trip down the wonderful sunny canals of Rialto to Oasis, Hanamura, Hollywood, and if there's a tiebreaker, we will be on the American route of 66. And I'm looking forward to today's games. We have two fairly decent teams here. Of course, the Green Knights took it all the way to Nationals last season. And the Hawks, I believe, I don't remember casting them in Season 2. So I do believe they're a new school within the season. So we'll be seeing how well they do. I'm unsure if they've had any matchups against the Green Knights before. So this could be very, very interesting.
Well, we will be seeing, of course, the Hawks are going to be starting on the defense here, which, I don't know, it could be interesting, but I think we'll see them struggle a little bit here as they're playing against the Notre Dame Green Knights, who, you said they went to the finals last year. They do seem to be one of the stronger teams in the league, definitely, and they could be having a strong push here, but we'll see what the Hawks decide to do. Looks like they're rolling out with a GOATS comp right now. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, GOATS is very, very standard on pretty much any map, but Rialto, you see it quite a bit. You got some environmental kill potential, of course, with Brigitte, Diva, and Lucio, of course, being able to knock them away and stuff. You got your bubbles. I mean, everybody by this point should understand the fundamentals of GOATS. And if we take a look at the Green Knights, we've got Haru on that Sombra that he's been so prominent on for the last few matches that I've casted and seen him played in a lot of situations here. So we should be seeing some good EMPs coming out. And pretty much the start of this match, I'm curious to see how this goes. Are we going to see the Hawks diving in, trying to just rush them down and force them back into their spawn, or are they just going to hold this corner like they are so far?
It seems like the Green Knights were hoping to come out with this ball comp, the triple DPS. I was really looking forward to them sticking on it, but it looks like they don't like what they're running into. They're going to swap into GOATS here. It seemed like they were going to keep the Widow, but at the last second, SpongeBob swapped over to the Zarya. So now they're coming out, GOATS v GOATS. They're ready for the fight. We'll see this first engagement coming in. The ult advantage is in favor of the Hawks, but as you mentioned, the environmental kill is so strong here. But Afterbite's going to charge too deep. He's going to go down, and that's an advantage now. A huge boop from Haru takes Jack 29 off the map, and the Green Knights should be pushing forward here.
Yeah, after managing to find SpongeBob there with a nice little boop here. Haru on that Diva is going to be playing very, very aggressively, jumping forward, trying to deal with the Moira here. Ra using that self-bubble now, so no defense onto the Zarya. They should be focusing them down, and that's exactly what they do as Ra does drop as well. Haru so deep with T-Core here. Or no, sorry, that's Liar. Oh, that's Memory there coming out. And it's very, very close in a lot of sense, right? If we look at the ult economy. Cool J, like...
Yeah, I think they were able to fight back really well, though. A big shatter coming down from Spaghetti. The Diva Bomb flying through. Gonna find one. A few more were taken down from that shatter. And I think the key here, we're seeing the Hawks are running traditional GOATS with the Moira, but the Green Knights are running what's known as Zen GOATS. So you have so much extra damage thanks to the Discord and Zen's just general damage output. You see Memory basically frontlining, playing like another DPS hero here. And I think that's the real difference and why they've been able to bring the ult economy back and kind of even it up despite starting at a disadvantage. The Hawks are going to have to figure out how to counter this Zen because the Moira gives them extra healing, but not much else.
Yeah, and this fight breaking out here, another benefit to Zen GOATS is going to be able to have that transcendence in these death pool fights like this. They're not going to be able to retort as most of the team or in fact, the entirety of the Green Knights are going to survive here. Spaghetti blocking off the shield, not saving Memory, unfortunately. The attacker's doors full. We see the Graviton Surge coming out. They're going to try and get some picks on it. You see Haru up in the air, raining down micro missiles. The bubble coming out just in time to save Spaghetti for being pinned onto the point here, but we are going to be seeing the Green Knights forced back by the Hawks and forced to regroup. But there was a lot of ult use that fight.
Honestly, that was a huge play by SpongeBob. As we see Haru coming in with the finish onto Raptor, but the Zarya, you mentioned that bubble coming through. He was able to get so much damage at the end of that fight and keep Spaghetti alive, all thanks to that bubble. And now they're in a huge advantage, and another big shatter comes down from Spaghetti, finding 4. Jack gonna be the last one left. He's gonna get popped and taken down in short order. And they're just going to try and stagger these supports as well. They should be able to get the cap off of that fight.
Yeah, no, that was absolutely phenomenal here. Coming out from the Green Knights, they're going to be able to push more aggressively here. We see the Graviton Surge actually hitting a lot of people here, followed by the Diva Bomb. It's actually not that big. That looked like it was going to be huge, but Afterbite there, jumping into the Graviton Surge to protect his fellow teammates, but it doesn't seem to matter here, as we see the Hawks still falling one by one. Transcendence being popped by Memory there, but they're just going to keep 2 on the point. I believe it's just been, yeah, it's just Monk has been sitting on this point for most of the game as the rest of his team pushes forward.
Yeah, and we're now seeing they swapped off the Lucio Raptor now on the Zen, but they are still on the Moira. They've also swapped off the Brig, now getting a Pharah with triple DPS. They're going to grab to try and get out of spawn, but it gets eaten. Haru with another big play on this Diva. Jack, meanwhile, getting popped and killed yet again. Afterbite able to knock down 2 with a Shatter, but he didn't have anybody there to back it up. He was just too deep yet again. And it looks like they're going to push without even getting contested on this final stretch.
Yeah, and like I was saying, Monk has just been sitting on this point, I'm going to say for about 80% of the game, not doing anything, just emoting. And as this fight's breaking out, they're just going to find pick after pick as the Hawks frantically try and get onto that point, but they're not going to be able to. And I believe they had about 5 minutes time banked.
Honestly, they had a solid hold on first. They did decently well in streets, but it seemed like they just couldn't stop getting staggered on third. And I think really the key play was Haru eating the Graviton that came out from, I believe it was Roar? Maybe it was Afterbite. I don't remember.
Unsure, and I stand completely corrected. It was 4 minutes. I don't know where the 6 came from in that situation. But do you expect us to be seeing goats versus goats again?
I would say all bets are off for this defense coming out from the Green Knights, but I think the Hawks are going to go with goats again. They started on goats. It seems like it's what they've practiced a lot. To be honest, aside from that third section of the payload, they were doing pretty well on the defense, considering all the circumstances. I still think that Haru eating that grab was the real reason that was so overpowering on that third stretch, as we see Monk and Memory going for a nice little swim in these Italian canals. But Haru eating that grab, it was so huge. That was the only piece that they had to even be able to break that spawn camp. And it was just taken away from them by a basic ability. It was really unfortunate, but a really strong play by Haru. And we're seeing them come out mostly with this triple DPS on the defense, which is what I expected. On the attack, they're going away from the goats. They're still playing a triple support, but they do not have that Brig. So I'm not sure how this is going to work out for them.
Yeah, we saw a last minute switch there. Techers onto the Torbjorn and Spaghetti on to Hammond or Wrecking Ball, whichever you prefer in these situations. But coming out into this fight, it's going to be a lot faster here. There's not going to be as much stalemate. Nobody's switching it over. We're not seeing full goats, but we are seeing some goats. Soldier in replaced, and of course Mercy coming out here. So we got like 66% of goats coming out, and a lot of damage is going to be able to be pumped out here by Memory, of course, being damage boosted by Monk with that knock up already having that barrage. The match just started. Not going to be able to find anybody, unfortunately, but it just goes to show how quickly Pharah can build ultimate, especially whilst taking direct rockets and being damage boosted. Cleaning it up here. Ra's going to fall. We are going to possibly see Raptor managing to live. No, because SpongeBob's just going to grappling hook up there, find the pick, and now they're just going to be able to hold this choke with a lot of dominance. Of course, having that Widowmaker is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, we see actually some pretty smart discipline play from the Hawks offense, avoiding the Widow line of sight late in that fight there. But now with the Infra sight up, there's not much they can do to push here. They're going to try and dive this Widow, but I'm not sure if it's going to be enough. Haru was forced to swap off the Sombra, but now in the Tracer, he might be able to pose even more of a distraction, despite maybe getting less damage value.
Yeah, the start of the fight there, you saw Raptor getting picked off by Memory, so they're going to want to be holding back Citrine dying as well. So, again, it's one of those things. Monkey actually getting off in an awful spot there. That was so unfortunate. I don't know how that jump managed to land him in that position, but that's what occurred. And Torbjorn's turret does damage.
Yeah, it really does. People underestimate it because it doesn't do much per shot, but it doesn't miss. And it shoots... Its rate of fire is pretty decent. If you're not dealing with it, it can do a lot of it. And now they're at the spawn door once again, and the Hawks are just reeling. They keep swapping, so they're losing any ult advantage they might be able to gain. And it's going to be very tough for them to break through this.
Yeah, unfortunately for this situation here, it is going to be very difficult. Afterbite finding that turret, but it's going to be tanking a lot of damage. SpongeBob does fall, though, to that Orisa. The rest coming out from Monk's going to be very, very useful here. SpongeBob's going to look to reposition Memory, just pumping out the damage, and SpongeBob is going off at the moment. Immediately finding Quippo, finding Jack, gets another hit onto Ra, a headshot onto Afterbite there, and they're just going to be trying to find this here. Does get halted, almost manages to get picked off here, but we see a huge minefield coming out from Spaghetti. Going to be able to clear this out. Haru now on that signature Tracer. I'd say lots and lots of Tracer coming out. He's extremely good at those SMG style characters, like I was saying about Sombra. So a lot of pressure coming out here as well. And it's just 4 DPS playing so aggressively, so much damage is getting pumped out.
You know, honestly, the real key in that last fight, they almost had it won. They got the pick onto SpongeBob. They took down Tekker's turret, but they allowed Monk to get the res. They could have punished that res. They could have killed the Mercy as well, but instead they let Monk get the res. And Monk's going to go in and do it again, but Monk's going to get taken out this time. And that's it. They're going to be able to push here, but they're so far from the end. Not much time left. They're going to need to be able to push it very far, and Raptor just used his trans in a very bad situation. And they also lost Citrine to Memory, who got a nice boop from the back and is still alive here. They weren't able to punish the Pharah. The Green Knights will definitely be able to engage here. They have ults to use, but Tekker's goes down.
Oh, Ra managing, actually, unfortunately, running into that trip mine. And yeah, like you were saying, a famous quote that feels very fitting to that last fight is overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer, because we saw them diving in, being over aggressive, the ego getting to them a little bit with how well they were winning fights, and they did lose that fight, almost letting them get to the point, but the Green Knights are going to take map 1.
I think the key there, it's always little things as we look at this play of the game from Tekker's on the Brig. The key there, yet again, we saw them, they were able to punish the mistakes, but they still made mistakes of their own. I think the two keys was Raptors using the trans, which would have been great against the barrage and the pulse bomb, and also not punishing Memory. Memory was able to get into the back and find a kill and survive the fight to be able to come back in with great positioning to get the barrage. So as you mentioned, that is going to be map 1 going to the Green Knights, but we've still got 3 maps to go. The Eagles, I think they've got a lot to work on, but I think that they can make some adjustments and come back stronger in the next map.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we saw them winning fights. They managed to push the point quite far, or they managed to defend for quite a while, I should say, on that first time round. I mean, 3 minutes on Rialto isn't an incredible amount. It's not a lot less, but it's not an incredible amount either. So they were winning fights for a little bit. And like you said, I feel like on Hawks on the defense, very unfortunate was that Haru managed to get that Graviton Surge.
Yeah, we'll be heading to Oasis now. It looks like both teams are going to be subbing some players in real quick, but we'll see how these subs make a difference. Oasis, I would say some of the sections lend very well to Goats, but other sections, it can actually be difficult to play Goats on, and we might see the Green Knights try to pull out another triple or quad DPS composition.
Yeah, and Tekors is getting switched out for Rifty. So, of course, Tekors was, I believe the most notable thing he did then was seeing that Torbjorn.
Yeah, also Tekker's was the Brig player, so this could mean that they're definitely moving away from the Goats, unless Rifty also feels comfortable on the... it looks like we're having technical issues from the Hawks. So this break could be a little bit longer than expected. I think we'll go to a quick break while we wait for the next map to come up. All right.
And we will be right back very soon. And we are back. Welcome back, everybody. Of course, we had some technical difficulties. Now everything's sorted. Both teams are ready to play, and we're going to be getting on to Oasis. What do you expect from Oasis, Cool J?
I think like we were saying before the break, they swapped out Techers for Rifsy. Techers seemed to be the guy who is playing Brig for the Green Knights. So I'm expecting them to come out with another triple or quad DPS composition here with Hammond. Because I don't know. I guess it's possible Rifsy could also play the Brig well, but since I think she got patched a few patches ago and definitely takes a little bit more skill and awareness to play Brig than it used to. So they're probably just going for the full DPS comps. Meanwhile, from the side of the Hawks, they might try to switch it up to try and counter these hard DPS comps, or they might come out with goats again. It looks like what they've locked into so far, they're having some kind of hybrid goats that hopes to play around the hole in the center of this section of the map. So we'll see how that plays out for them.
Yeah, and I do believe Rissy is a Lucio Winston main. If I remember past weeks, definitely plays a lot of Lucio, and I could have sworn he switched to Winston once or twice.
So we'll see. They are coming out with pretty standard Zen goats on the side of the Green Knights. The Green Knights are, of course, still in the red. Hawks still in the blue. Hawks are getting ready to push out here, but Rifsy on the Lucio gives them such an advantage. They tried to halt them into the hole, but it didn't even work. Jack goes down early, and that's huge. A huge anti-nade comes out from Raptor, but they were unable to follow up on the damage.
Yeah, Citrine also going to be falling there right at the tail end of the fight. Ra, being the last man standing, is going to go down, and we're going to be seeing the point flip over towards the Green Knights in this situation.
Yeah, that was a tough first fight. I would really just say, I mean, you see the power of both Lucio and Zen there. The two heroes that weren't there on the side of the Hawks really gave a huge advantage, both in positioning and damage, for the side of the Green Knights. And now they're taking their uber aggressive positioning again, and a shatter comes down from, that's Memory this time on the Reinhardt. SpongeBob able to finish up 2 on that Zarya, and they're going to clean up the rest in quick succession here. Roar now in the Tracer, Jack 29 on the Junkrat. There's certainly a lot of damage coming down from them, but not sure if it's enough to break through this Goats comp.
Yeah, they're definitely switching some things up in this situation here. And we're going to see a fight coming out. The Graviton being hit out here by the Green Knights. They're just going to be able to push for it. Memory actually getting 4 kills. I believe that was in practically one swing. 4 of them going down. 5, and practically another team kill with, I believe, only Ra managing to make it back to the spawn point with those Tracer Blinks.
Yeah, we see now Roar switching onto the Lucio Quippo mode on the Hanzo. With Hanzo Junk, this could be much better for trying to punish the aggressive positioning, but it could charge up that Zarya even more, which is what I suspect it will do. And Memory now has another shatter. They weren't prepared for it. The Diva Bomb is coming out. 3 have already gone down. 2 more fall in quick succession, and I think that's just the power. But now they don't have very many ults. They have the Transcendence. They have the Sound Barrier. That could be enough for them to win this next fight, but we'll have to see how the engage comes out from the Hawks.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be one of those situations here where they have to be moving out as a unit. They have to get somebody. We need to see somebody. We needed to see Ra on the Tracer maybe blink past them, try and get onto the point. The Sound Barrier coming out there by Rifty does manage to save his Reinhardt there. Memory going to be able to live through that Junkrat bomb, and that's going to be round 1.1 going towards the Green Knights.
And the thing is, they did manage to get a pretty decent engage at the end there. They got a few kills to start off, but then it was a 2-part nightmare. They didn't have time to get to the point, and they didn't have the staying power to finish up the fight. So they ended up with some of them trying to trickle to the point, some of them trying to continue the fight, and of course, they all just ended up dying because they ended up getting split up in such a fashion. We're going to see this map much more high ground heavy, the Hammond coming out. What are you thinking? How did the Hawks react to this chain?
Well, we're going to be seeing a soldier coming out from Ra, right? If you can hold the high ground, although I don't think soldier's in a good spot at all, he actually gets switched to Diva. But on the topic of soldier, don't think soldier's a great pick anymore in this situation where the meta seems to be favoring high burst damage in a lot of cases and less sustain because of how aggressively and fast each fight seems to go. But we do see, of course, that Diva, like I was saying, coming out from Ra, going to be able to get a lot of damage out. Good for the bomb. You can throw it into the center of the point. We see Memory slamming down there, trying to get a big knock up for the rest of his team to follow up. They're not going to be able to, as we see most of the Hawks here jumping up onto the high ground. They do take control of it, getting booped off, actually, managing to escape a lot of the micro missiles. We see Ra getting caught out. But at the moment, the Hawks are managing to control the fight fairly well. And just as I say that, Rifty Spaghetti managing to find Afterbite and Raptor. So that's going to be both of their supports falling down now with Jack. There's not going to be a Diva mech anymore. Diva falls. Ra going down here, down to Citrine and Raptor. Citrine and Raptor nowhere to be seen. As did they get picked off really early into the fight?
Citrine got picked off like at the very beginning. It was kind of just an unfortunate play. It's smart play by Memory. I think the real key there, though, was after they came down, they were able to single out Haru, which is huge. They're able to get rid of that Discord and the Zen damage, but then they got split up themselves and they started getting taken down, as is happening here. Many people getting split up, singled off, kill after kill coming down, flooding the kill feed in red for the Green Knights. A Pulse Bomb yet again. SpongeBob already has 2 at only 30%. He hasn't really gotten much value out of him, but it hasn't really mattered. And now we're going to see they're going to be holding the spawn, but they're going to back up. The spawn is much more open here. It's much harder to hold it, but they're going to jump in on the back of this rally here.
Yeah, rally being so strong when you're playing a Deathball composition, and like you were saying, it's so open, so a Diva Bomb is going to be able to go off here, finds 3 targets. It's going to be absolutely huge for the Green Knights, so they're going to push and push. Ra's going to jump off the edge there, reset. Oh, it wasn't actually Ra. Haru actually jumping. I believe that was a slight misplay, trying to go for the Mega, and just tapped the center pole there, missing the jump and falling to their death.
And we see SpongeBob with the sneaky plays here, hiding right by the spawn door, looking for a kill onto Raptor, but unable to finish off that Zen before he can retreat back into spawn, where of course he can't take any damage. Looks like they're going to be able to push out here, but SpongeBob still very close to spawn, still being there unpunished. Quippo mode finally taking a look. There goes the pulse bomb, though. He's built it up, but it just feeds right into Jack's shields. But again, look at the percentage. The timing is very low for them.
And Haru here on that monkey going absolutely bananas, manages to find 2 environmental kills, knocking them away. Is he going to be able to get a third? He is not in this situation, but we are going to see the Green Knights taking point 2, and a map 2 Oasis is going to go towards them.
Yeah, and we're just seeing the Green Knights kind of having a field day, unfortunately. It's really one-way traffic so far in this match. I think the Eagles have shown flashes, and there's just, 1 or 2 adjustments that they can make to really be competitive. And it's just really unfortunate. We'll have to see them go back into practice and maybe come out with a better front the next time we see.
Yeah, hopefully they do manage to recover a little bit on that better front, like you were saying. But they've still got 2 more maps to tie it up, right?
That's true.
So we might be able to see something coming out here.
Yeah, we are going to be heading over to... I'm blanking. Hanamura, the Japanese paradise. There's bonsai trees on Hanamura. I feel like there are.
I believe so.
They got the little Zen garden with the...
Yeah, it's very peaceful.
I mean, I wouldn't call it peaceful. There's battles there constantly, every day, but...
I mean... Right, that's true. Okay. But if you take the battles out and you take it for what it is, it's very peaceful.
I agree. But we are going to be heading to Hanamura, cherry blossoms, Zen gardens, and some pretty painful chokes to push through. I'm expecting the Green Knights to stick with their triple/quad DPS composition here. But maybe on the attack, maybe on the defense, I don't know. They've been kind of switching back and forth, and it's almost been unpredictable. It seems like they like to start maps more conservative and then kind of swap off if they feel like they could get better value out of something else. But
yeah, which is definitely not the worst way of going about it, right? You're swapping about, you're playing that micro meta, you're switching out to what you think is better, you're playing around the enemy comp in a lot of situations.
it looks like we're going to have another sub coming in from the Hawks as we go to Hanamura. Maybe swapping back. I just realized, didn't they swap for the second map? Who did they? Maybe they didn't.
I am no, I don't believe they did.
I'm sorry. I thought I saw that they were swapping someone. So I guess they didn't swap, but they are going to be swapping for this.
Quippo mode in?
I think he was.
I don't remember saying that name, so that's why I'm thinking.
That's a slight problem.
Oh wait, no, we are going to see the sub here. We're going to see two people dropping out. So that was Ra and Raptor both dropping.
Yeah, we saw Raptor. Raptor seemed to be playing most of the Zen and Lucio, and I think Rar was on some of the off tanks.
For OG Platypus, Night Raven.
Yeah, and this is really interesting.
Yeah, I mean,
it looks like Platypus. I think I remember Platypus playing a lot of Brig.
Right. Okay. Yes, I do believe correct. And Night Raven, I don't think we've seen Night Raven play before.
This could be good though. Maybe the Hawks will be coming out with a little bit different of an approach to the Goats than what they've been doing before, because clearly, you know, they were really struggling with the approach they had before. So we'll see how this one goes for them as teams are setting up. This time, we will be seeing the Hawks on the attack first in the red, the Green Knights on the defense first in the blue. And of course, we know, as anybody who's played Hanamura knows, the choke on this map can be downright oppressive. So it's very important to see how they attack this first point.
It's a bit like the cinematic when they introduced Junkertown. You've either got to blow it wide open, or it's going to be very, very difficult getting through that choke.
And we're seeing team comps just about to come out here and not getting much of anything from either side. Platypus on Torbjorn, Jackstar on the... Or, sorry, Platypus on the Bastion, Jackstar on the Torbjorn. I can't imagine that they're going to stay on those, but you never know. Meanwhile, on the defense, we're seeing Symmetra along with 5 supports. And the Green Knights are actually coming out of their spawns with this, but they do presumably still have enough time. They've actually swapped from Symmetra onto a Lucio.
So they are running 6 supports. I actually think the Green Knights have done this before, and it's been very, very successful for them. Just the amount of sustain with their mechanical skill, they're able to deal a lot of damage.
This might actually be the new meta we're seeing right here, developed before your very eyes on EGFH. They did indeed come out of spawn with a Torbjorn and Bastion. Maybe they were expecting this 6 support comp. They have Orisa Hog to pull the members of the Green Knights right in front of the Torb Bastion damage. So they're trying to push into the choke now. They do have a Torb turret set up. And of course, so much damage, but Haru in behind them with the anti-nade and the sleep dart. They found 2 kills already, but they strike back. Monk goes down, and Night Raven on this Hog is looking for more. They are in a very aggressive positioning here, but they're going to take down 2 more. OG Platypus and Citrine going down. There goes Night Raven.
Quippo on the point, though. Going to be able to stall it for a little bit here. Maybe even so close to getting... very close. They're about 66% to getting to that first third of the point unlocked, but it is going to pull them all away, giving his team a chance to try and regain some manner of control onto this point.
Yeah, I agree. I think that was huge in keeping them, from spawn camping yet again. They were able to get back out to the choke, and Jaxar able to finish off Rifsy. OG Platypus now going to set up on this Bastion, and so much damage coming down, but another huge anti from Haru, and you see the assists. 3 assists on Night Raven there as we finish off 3 kills, make it 4. 3 assists on Afterbite as well. These guys are really just working together for all of these kills. You can tell the focus fire is amazing for the Green Knights.
Yeah, so this is one of those things, right? You have so many support ults are meant to be used to support the team. So when you have 6 support ults, there's a lot of buffs and heals and debuffs, and then nano boost coalescence. That deals a lot of damage. With the Discord orb from Zenyatta, a big anti here coming out. We see the Valkyrie being popped, and we actually see a nanoed Battle Mercy in Valkyrie there. Managed to find pick after pick. Spaghetti just flying about, using that bonus movement speed with the pea shooter. There isn't so much a pea shooter whilst being nanoed, clearing through the team.
You see, though, Jackstar is at the point, but I think they know he's there. Remember, he's actually returning to be near the point. I think they're expecting them to try and get on this. I think Jackstar is going to go for a tick maybe while this fight engages. Yeah, he's going to sneak onto the point just now. Point's going to start ticking up. We'll see if they notice Spaghetti returning to the point. It seems like they have.
Spaghetti going to be able
he's
to
so close.
Oh! A tiniest bit away there is Spaghetti, assisted by, I believe that was Memory, is going to be able to find Jackstar there, literally an inch. If they had 2 players there, they would have been able to get that tick.
And I think the real key to this composition is the comms and the focus fire from the Green Knights. They wouldn't be able to pull it off if they weren't talking so effectively. They're using the Discord orbs, they're using the anti-nades and the sleep darts so well. And it's really just impossible. Even when some of them starts getting hit, they just get focus healed by 3 people. It's so hard to focus down any of these members of the Green Knights.
Yeah, and I think that just goes to show to some extent, though, we can't lay down the fact that the Green Knights have been playing, or have now partaken in multiple seasons of EGFH. They've been playing together for a while now, and for all we know, since the Hawks joined just this season, they very well could have been a newly formed team. Their school may have just started to get into esports. So there's a lot of variables coming out there as well. It comes from the experience. It's the old experienced veteran against the new player, right, in a lot of these cases. And it just goes to show how much communication can make or break a team in this situation. And the Green Knights have it down so well that they're just going to be able to play 6 supports, which they've done multiple times before and beaten multiple teams with it.
Yeah, the Green Knights really out there having fun with it. You see Memory bunny hopping on that Hammond as the round ends. And now I think we're starting to see fatigue play a big factor in this match. You know, it's really tough in general just to go through 3 or 4 maps of Overwatch, but to go through when you're having so much, when you're struggling so much, it can become even more difficult. It seems like the mountain can just increase exponentially, but we'll see how the Eagles respond to this pressure against, or sorry, how the Hawks respond to this pressure. Where did I get Eagles from?
I'm not sure, because I don't even believe there's a team called the Eagles in this season. But I mean, there's lots of types of birds. You could have named plenty of species, but they are in fact the Hawks.
I think it was just my Americanism coming out real quick, just wishful thinking of the patriotic birds. But we'll see how the Hawks respond to this ever-mounting pressure on this defense. It looks like they're going to be bringing out the Tor Bastion once again, this time with a double shield comp of Ryan Orisa. Meanwhile, on the attack, so far, the Green Knights have 6 tanks. And I mean, I know they've done it to me before, but I really can't imagine they're going to come out of spawn with this one. They don't even have any healing.
They did it with 6 support. You got the self-sustain of Roadhog, bubbles coming out from Zarya, plenty of shield from the Winston, Orisa, and Reinhardt. If they're just going to try and one and done it, just rush through, don't worry about healing, dish out as much damage as they can once they're on the point, then this definitely could be the team to go for. But it's going to be interesting seeing how they manage to deal with the onslaught of bullets coming out from that Tourbillon turret, and of course the Bastion firing like 300 rounds a second sort of thing. And there's so much damage going to be put out. We're going to see the ult economy actually looking fairly interesting here. We're going to see Jack very quickly coming up. OG Platypus does fall, though. They managed to find Memory. So all they need to do is deal with Jack at the moment. Forcing him out of the turret here is going to be absolutely huge, because they're just going to be able to pick him off, get down that damage, reduce that damage reduction, but Jack managing to get back into the turret form there. Going to be dishing out the damage. The shield's coming out from Afterbite, managing to keep him alive well and healthy, along with Citrine and OG Platypus, focusing their healing on it. We're seeing a bit of communication coming out here. Now we're going to see the Discord orb coming out from OG Platypus and Jack focusing those targets. So they're clearly talking about who's coming out on the Discord, why they're Discording them, and just who to jump on. And that was extremely well played from the Hawks.
That's really unfortunate there. They use that coalescence. They really didn't need to. And OG Platypus going to get picked off trying to come back from spawn. And there we go. Jaxar going to go down. And this could be it for them as Haru uses the Shatter. SpongeBob with the grab as well. And I think really the play they were looking for here is they didn't need to worry about healing as long as you have a few tank ults. The tank ults are so strong. Shatter and the grab and everything else. Able to push into him. Able to find the kills they were looking for. There we go. We're going to see play of the game from Monk. As this, of course, means the Green Knights will be taking this series. We are still going to play map 4 because we are, of course, in Overwatch League style mode here at EGFH. But, I don't know. Could be very tough. We'll see if the Green Knights maybe have another fun strategy to come out with on this last map.
Yeah, so I just want to chime in a little bit. You know when I said that if you run 6 supports, you're going to have a lot of supporting ults? If you run 6 tanks, you're going to have a lot of CC. Like, a lot of CC once they all start getting those ultimates. And yeah, you can capture a point very, very quickly once you all build up those ults. But, of course, now we are going to be going to map 4, which, if off the top of my memory, Cool J, I believe that's Hollywood.
Yeah, we will be taking to the streets of Hollywood, moving through a few different TV studios, and of course, listening to the Blizzard director tell us about our terrible acting and our terrible driving. They're going to be hoping to push the payload as quickly as possible. The Hawks will be starting on the defense once again as we go into the last map. Green Knights starting on the defense, or starting on the attack. The Hawks are starting on the defense. Man, I'm really missing them today, aren't
Yeah, you were going left, right, and center. Next, you'll be calling parrots. You'll be calling them all sorts of birds. But yes, the Hawks are going to be on a defense starting off here. And I'm curious to see how this works, right? Because this map is structured a lot, at least on the choke, like Hanamura. You have the one entrance point, and then you have the main entrance point. And of course, you can flank around in different positions, but you're still watching those 2 entry points as your main focus. So it will definitely be interesting to see how they go about it.
And it seems like we're still waiting just a little bit for the teams to be ready for this next map. While we wait, I don't know. What do you expect to come out from the Green Knights? Do you think they'll do the 6 supports again? Do you think they'll come out with something even more?
They've done 6 tanks. Let's see the 6 DPS.
Well, yeah, I think that's just logical. I mean,
right? Like,
you've seen everything else. Might as well come out with a 6 DPS.
Commit to it, right? You've had a bunch of support ults, a lot of supports, lots of healing, a lot of CC from the tanks. Let's just see a ton of damage. Like a literal ton of damage coming out by 6 DPS.
Yeah, I mean, it could be a lot tougher to pull off the what's it called? The 6 DPS, because DPS alts are not very good. They can't really control fights. They don't really use CC, and they don't really help your teammates, except for Sombra's ult and maybe Symmetra's ult. Symmetra's ult kind of helps your teammates. But I don't know. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I bet they will come out with Symmetra. I think they're going to go for the shield and teleporter plays.
I want to see Torbjorn, Symmetra, Sombra, Widowmaker, Hanzo, Ashe.
Wow.
Triple sniper, Widowmaker, of course, being one of those. And then we have Torbjorn, Symmetra, and Sombra as the other 3. That's what I want to be seeing.
That sounds awful.
I mean, yeah, but somehow I think they'd make it work.
I don't know. I mean, let's just strategize here. Like, who is?
Okay.
I guess Torbjorn would be the tank, right? Because he could do the molten core
Yes.
thing.
Yeah. Molten core. Yeah. The armor.
Torbjorn's your main tank. He takes
Yes.
space.
Yeah.
Off tank would be Sombra.
Yes.
But she can take some space too. She can put some damage out.
Or Bob. Bob could be your off tank. Once Ashe gets the ult, you only occasionally have an off tank.
No, you know what? You're right. Sombra, because Sombra is one of the healers.
Yes. Yeah, because
Sombra,
packing the health packs, making sure that's working. You have Symmetra as the other support, right, with the shields and things. So
I'm gonna say Ashe is your off tank.
Oh yeah, so Ashe is the off tank, Torbjorn main tank, Sombra Symmetra support, Torbjorn Widowmaker DPS.
No. Hanzo Widowmaker DPS.
Oh, Hans. Oh.
Yes.
Sorry. Yeah.
Torb can't be the main tank.
And DPS. I mean, if your aim's good enough, definitely could.
I mean, I think that's the whole point. But in this comp, I think that's how it would work, especially because Torb made Reinhardt's shield, right?
Yes, I believe so. I believe that's the law.
Yeah. And we're seeing now both teams are ready to get into the map, so we're going to be heading into Hollywood, and we won't have to spitball about the Green Knights comp because we're going to be seeing it come out pretty soon. But I don't know. I think that would be a pretty solid comp. We might be seeing it in Overwatch League Stage 2.
There's definitely a possibility of seeing it in Overwatch Stage 2, like 100. You know what? If we don't see it in the grand finals, I just don't know what their coaches are thinking.
On a slightly more serious note, what do you think Baptiste will do to the meta of Overwatch?
I think he makes goats incredibly strong, even with the nerfs to goats. Because I feel like giving a Deathball comp that is already running rampant more potential with invulnerability for Deathball. Very good.
See, I was thinking he would be very, very strong on defense, but I was also thinking that the things he benefits most are nest comps and also dive comps. Like, just because his overall kit, like, I don't think he would actually be all that good with goats. I think
I want you to imagine this, right? He has AoE healing with his right click, yeah?
Okay,
right?
Yes.
Okay. He can get, so Lucio speeds you in, right? Let's say we're on Lunar Colony. Lucio speeds you in, right? You pop down the invulnerability field. You just start bashing because you're goats, right? Reinhardt
and the enemy team just the enemy team just runs away from you because you're goats and you have no range damage.
There you go. You got a hold of the point.
No, they don't let you on the point because they also have an invulnerability field. But what you're missing here, as Platypus goes down early, what you're missing here is that the game has started.
Yeah,
and
the game has
almost called it. We almost called it. They come out with 5 DPS and a Lucio. They do have a Torb, but aside from that, we were wrong about absolutely everything.
Yeah, we were. You know what? I'm very disappointed that they went with a conservative yet very effective team composition when it comes to 5 DPS. I wanted the triple sniper. Green Knights, if you watch this VOD, you've let me down, but it doesn't matter because they are going to be able to find that first point in borderline record time. That was so fast. The Maid coming out here from Jack to try and slow them down, but we already have a Dragon Blade coming out. SpongeBob managed to find OG Platypus there. Does immediately get taken out by Quippo, though. And, I mean, Quippo just going off, right? He's in Quippo mode at the moment as Haru says, you might be in Quippo mode, but I'm about to go Doomfist here. Manages to pick off 5, practically single-handedly wiping their team.
Yeah, honestly, Haru is really the one going crazy here. Just doing so much work. After Afterbite went down, there was no stun really to deal with him. Jackstar now on a Doomfist of his own, hoping to maybe outplay him. SpongeBob taking down Afterbite, though, which means, guess what? Haru now free to roam once.
Yeah, this is what Haru wants, right? Tight corridors where he can just charge up that Doomfish, charge in, let SpongeBob close in from the other side as well, along with Memory. They're just going to be able to push forward. And again, we've been saying this from the start, right? Monk's always the one sitting on the payload whilst the rest of his team runs off to just kill them. Like,
it's alright. We appreciate you, Monk.
you know what, Monk? If it wasn't for you, the payload would never go anywhere. But now if we go look back over to the composition here where the fights are going off, they do just have them spawn camped. We see the hammer or the meteor strike coming down here, pushing the back. The high noon comes out, so they're all going to come around the corner there. The pin coming out onto SpongeBob, though, and Afterbite managed to find Spaghetti is going to be very, very important here for this fight. But Memory managing to find two, Quipper and Afterbite falling here. Haru finding Platypus. It's down to Haru against Night Raven, but the Tourbillon turret is so useful there, and Memory was in the background. I didn't see him.
Yeah, I mean, that's just... Let's do some quick math here. Pulse Bomb plus Small Hallway equals lots of damage. And that's what we saw come out from Memory there. Finding 2 plus damage on some others. And we see a little bit of a composition swap. Quippa mode onto the Pharah now. But Afterbite just going down time after time now.
Yeah, I mean, this is it, right? Haru now all by himself. As I said, that Spaghetti and SpongeBob are going to come in here. The Dragon Blade's going to be coming out there. Does get picked off, though.
Oh! Afterbite finding 2. That could be
huge.
That they might be able to push back onto this payload here because the turret goes down thanks to Quippa mode. Afterbite playing really aggressive in Monk. Monk might have been having some technical difficulties there, not quite fighting back, but Memory now on the Widow. And of course the positioning so aggressive here. It has to be aggressive. Night Raven, a huge flick shot from Memory on this Widow. He's still looking for more, but can't quite connect. And right as I say that,
and they are going to finish the round. They just need to stand on that point for a second longer. SpongeBob fighting the pig. 4 minutes 24 seconds. So 4:24 left in that time bank. That's plenty of time.
They did eventually swap to the Widow, so I think we were right. I think we were the ones with the big brains here because they didn't have the Widow initially. They did swap to it. But I don't know. I think on this defense now, I think we're gonna come full circle, and they're gonna play season 2 meta. No, Ryan Hog Diva Soldier Ana Lucio.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. That's my prediction. That's just because I want to see season 2 meta come back. I know that's not what they're gonna play, but it's all right. It's all right. But we're seeing them come out here on Hollywood. I mean, what do you expect?
Ready for battle.
You know what? I don't know what to expect, but I do see an Ashe and a Widowmaker, and you know what? We'll one away from being triple sniper.
Hey, no. They have Ashe, they have Widowmaker, and they have Symmetra, so they're halfway there. They're halfway.
And it's
the team comp.
The opposition. It's not who we presumed we're going to go that comp. It is Hawk.
Oh, it is. That's true. The Hawks are embracing the playstyle of the Eagles or of the Green Knights. Why do I keep saying Eagles? The Hawks are embracing the playstyle of the Green Knights. They're gonna try and beat them at their own game. Getting a Sombra instead of the Widowmaker. That might be a better pick. Widow, Torb, Sombra coming out from the side of the Green Knights, so they are getting pretty close.
Yeah, every pick is a day closer to my ideal team composition here, as we are, as I presumed, we're gonna see Monk just popping off here on the Tracer, lots of damage coming out, and I feel like we might be watching some spawn camping going on for 3 minutes.
Yeah, I think that might be what's happening here. Afterbite able to find a kill onto SpongeBob, but Memory striking back, winning the Widow duel against Jackstar. Platypus is going to find Riftsy. It just kills back and forth. Haru going to find Afterbite there. Turret of Riftsy going down. Riftsy, of course, died, so that means that turret can't come back up, and they're going to dive right onto Memory. Quibble mode, and Platypus actually going to take him out. A nice little tag team right there. They might actually be able to push out even farther. Haru on the Sombra is starting to get dangerously low. He's going to just pop out real quick. Just take a quick dive back to his health pack. SpongeBob now on the Doomfist, doing some big damage.
So I stand corrected. They managed to push him back to point for a second there.
Yeah, they did actually.
Yeah, they managed to push him back to a point here. We're going to be SpongeBob doing a lot of damage here. Haru, it just goes to show how versatile the Green Knights are, right? They've played all supports, all tanks, all DPS, or 5 DPS and a tank slash support. But it just goes to show how well they work on different characters, right? Haru on the Sombra. We saw Haru going off on Doomfist. Now we see SpongeBob going off on Doomfist.
Yeah, and we see the info site coming down from memory on the Green Knights. And Platypus now on a Reinhardt gonna try to push out a spawn the right way. We'll see how that works out for them. But the EMP comes down, Night Raven gets picked. So many people low on health, but Memory unable to hit any other shots there. Winston now gonna dive onto a Equipo mode, finds himself on the wrong side. And Jagstar just having a nice little dance there. He's gonna get taken down. Afterbite says, you know what time it is. I'm gonna get a kill here. Get another one with the flashbang on the SpongeBob. We'll see if he can find more. He's gonna take down Rifsy as well.
Oh, and almost hit the double headshot on Haru there. Both of those shots were so incredibly close to connecting. Finding Spaghetti as well. Afterbite at the moment is actually putting in so much work for his team. Going to try and deal with the soldier here. Hits the flashbang. Isn't able to find Memory completely here. But just sitting in this corner, he is going to get focused down here. They recognize the threat on the side of the Green Knights there and do deal with it very, very quickly.
But we almost see 2 ticks coming out from the side of the Hawks. Unfortunately, weren't able to get that second one. Equipo mode kind of overextending here, gonna get taken down. And there are no longer any healers. I thought they had a Lucio at one point, but it is just 6 healers on the Green Knights, or 6 DPS on the Green Knights. Memory, of course, is going to be doing the healing action from the soldier, along with Haru on the Sombra.
Yeah, of course. I still want to call it the new Torbjorn Molten Core, even though it's been like literally months. Like it was last October when Torbjorn got reworked, so we're talking like nearly half a year now, about half a year now, and it still feels like a new ult to me. Just that Molten Core, lava everywhere. Platypus gonna fall there to Rifty, lots of damage.
We see a High Noon coming out from Afterbite, able to find one, but it's going to go down to Rifsy. Rifsy has a turret at the spawn door, actually. SpongeBob able to find Citron, and I think this might be it for this series. We do see one managing to make it onto the point, but not sure if he's going to stay there for very long. He's actually going to get the hack off onto Haru on the Hammond, but not enough to keep himself alive. And that should be it for this series. A 4-0 from the Green Knights.
Yeah, what I see, I think this just goes to show, right? The Hawks have plenty of room to improve. The Green Knights have been dominating pretty much every single team they play against. Like we were having a conversation before this, right? They dominate a lot, but as soon as they play against the Falcons on the Alaskan when they did it at Nationals, the Falcons did exactly what happened to the Hawks to the Green Knights today. They just, or the the Falcons on the East region, not the Alaskan region. But whenever they play against each other, the Falcons just proceed to dominate the Green Knights. So it's one of those things where it's like there's power levels and things, and the Green Knights are definitely up there at the moment. But every team can improve and get better, and communication is so important.
Yeah, and I think we saw a breakdown in communication on the side of the Hawks near the end there. As you mentioned, communication being very important, but the fatigue of a match like that and the fatigue of just, kind of banging your head against a wall over and over, definitely starting to wear on them. But we see the Green Knights taking a statement victory today, a strong victory today. Going to be going forward into their next weeks, looking for more success.
Yeah, 100%. And I'm sure we'll see more very impressive plays coming out from the Green Knights in their future games. And again, every week these teams improve. So I'm sure we'll see the Hawks pulling off something just like this in weeks to come. But of course, I want to thank you all for being absolutely wonderful and tuning into the East region of Season 3 of EGFH with, of course, the Notre Dame Green Knights taking the victory 4-0. You can, of course, follow us at @OfficialEGF on Twitter and Twitch for updates and announcements. I'd again want to thank our wonderful sponsors, the Yukon Gaming Club, the Yukon School of Engineering, and Mobcraft Crush for making this season possible. I've been Kevin Navik Dignan, and you can find me on Twitter at NavikCasts.
And I have been Cool J. You can find me on Twitter at CoolJ_OW. And I'd like to also thank everybody for tuning in, and we will see you next